warriors, happy Sunday. Today's video is going to be about suicide and suicide prevention. It's a hard topic and I feel like we need to talk about it more, and it should be brought up to light more. I feel like people hear about suicides and people wonder like, why, he seemed happy or whatever, but nobody wants to get to the root of that result. Nobody wants to find out like the real reason. Everybody acts like they do, but they don't want to talk about it. It's uncomfortable. They don't want to acknowledge that all that darkness that we live with. Like, even everywhere I go, like, legit, it's so hard for me to like make connections and stuff, because everybody wants a happy life and everybody wants to be uppity, and I'm just like, no, that is not the reality of life. And I cannot be that person. I cannot be happy all the time. I cannot pretend that nothing's wrong. I cannot go through life not acknowledging the darkness. I just can't. I can't suppress it. I can't ignore it. And that's just me. And it makes it really hard for me to, have small talk, normal conversations, because I'm just like, I don't care about the weather. I care about, the fact that people are fucking killing themselves. So in honor of September Suicide Prevention Month, this is what I wanted to talk about. So I came upon like an ad on Facebook from the Center for Addiction and Mental Health about signing up and adding my name to show support. And you can also donate. So you can go on their website, which is camh.ca, if you would like to donate or just find out how you can help. And they're working on, bettering the research, and they have like a treatment hospital, which, by the way, if you're in Ontario, and you need treatment for mental health, like illness, your treatment is likely covered by OHIP. So I would suggest, if you feel like you need the help, I would suggest, calling them or showing up and seeing if, you can get the help that you need. So on that ad on Facebook, it said that suicide claims nearly 11 people a day. And at first glance, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it really adds up. Like 11 people a day. And that's just based on statistics, right? I'm sure there's a lot more, suicides that are not kind of like penciled in, not calculated. So 11 people a day, nearly, lives get claimed by suicide. And in my personal opinion, I feel like all of them are a cause of mental illness. So obviously there's a mental health crisis, and there has been for a long time, but it's been ignored. People don't give a fuck. People don't want to talk about it. People just pretend like there's no problem, especially at work, right? Mental illness is considered as weak, and if you talk about it, then you're whining. You're just wanting attention. If you ask for help, then you're weak as fuck, and people make fun of you, and like, oh, you can't handle life on your own, kind of thing. So this this whole COVID situation that we're in kind of brought mental illness to the storefront, right? Because it triggered like all of us, right? This huge thing is happening to us, and it's triggered our mental health, and it's kind of brought it to the forefront, which, everybody that's complaining about COVID, like, there's so many things that have come out of it that I'm relieved for, and that I'm happy for, and this is one of them. Like, mental health is, it's like so fucking close to my heart. And it's so sad that it affects so many people, and so many people are scared of talking about it and scared of admitting that they're struggling, right? And I struggled for a long time with my depression. I refused to ask for help. I refused to get on medication. I refused to even acknowledge that I had a problem, and it just made it worse. It made it worse. And so twice in my life I was suicidal, and I didn't want to be here anymore. And a lot of it was based on relationships, and just not feeling good enough, you know, like just feeling like I was giving so much of myself and I wasn't getting it back, or I was being like put down for the things that I lacked. And it just always felt like what I did give was never good enough, even when I gave like parts of myself that I didn't have. So twice in my life, and no, I didn't reach out for help. I didn't have people to talk to. I didn't, and that just, it makes it all worse. And that's why I talk about it now, because it helps me. It helps me bring it up to light, and it helps me to recognize it, and it helps me to make it real, right? Because when you're struggling and you can't talk about it, you tend to feel crazy. You feel like it's not real and there's something wrong with you. And the things that you're feeling, like, you can't explain them, you don't understand them. And that's what's killing people. The lack of support, and the lack of acknowledgement, the lack of conversation, the lack of connection. You know, people like to stigmatize mental health and make it this illusion, this lie. And it's not. Mental illness is as real as breaking a leg or getting head trauma. You know, that shit's taken care of. So why is mental illness so stigmatized? Why is mental illness put in this box of, oh no, it doesn't exist, it's not real, and get over it? Oh, you're sad, go outside. No, like, mental illness is real, and we need to talk about it. And we need to find ways to fix the system and fix people's perspectives and kind of force people to see it. Like, and you know, of course, you can't force what people see and do and all of that, and I get that. And that's why we need to just use our voice to kind of like put it in their faces and be like, look, this is what's happening and you can't ignore it anymore. Like, that's it. You know, we need to start saving lives and stop wondering why people are doing what they're doing. We know why. We already know why. We just choose to ignore it. Ignorance is a choice. And ignorance comes from being uncomfortable. And, you know, people ignore things that they don't understand, or that they, you know, struggle with themselves and they don't want to face it. Ignorance is their way of running away from their problems. So I'm asking you to talk about it, join the conversation, make a change the stigma, donate if you can. All right, I'll see you next Sunday. Bye, warriors.